Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love history, rare coins, and discovering hidden treasures, you're in for a treat today. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever minted in the United States, the 1964 D1 coin. And believe it or not, this humble penny might just be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Stick around as we dive into the story behind this coin, its historical significance, and how it could be worth millions. First, let's talk a little bit about the history behind this coin. The 1964 D1 coin is part of the larger set of coins minted in 1964, the last year the US government struck pennies with a full copper composition. Starting in 1962, the U.S. Mint began striking pennies with a higher percentage of copper and a smaller amount of tin and zinc. By 1965, the composition changed entirely to zinc and copper plating, but in 1964, the pennies were still made almost entirely of copper. The D Mint mark on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary locations where the U.S. Mint produces coins. The 1964 D penny was designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, who also created the iconic Lincoln portrait that has graced the U.S. penny since 1909. Now, you might be wondering, why is this specific 1964 D penny so special? Well, the answer isn't as simple as you might think. To understand why this penny is so valuable, we need to talk about a rare and unique error that occurred during its minting process. Minting errors, such as overdates, double strikes, and wrong planchets, are common in the world of coin collecting, and they can drastically increase the value of a coin. In the case of the 1964 D penny, a certain batch of these coins was struck with a mistake that makes them highly valuable today. The rare 1964 D double die penny features a noticeable doubling in the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse of the coin, as well as on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling effect happened because the coin was struck twice, which resulted in a doubling of the design elements. The error is very subtle, but with a keen eye, collectors can spot the difference. Now, here comes the big question: how much is this penny actually worth? While the face value of the 1964 D penny is just 1 cent, this error coin has become incredibly valuable. If you happen to find one of these double die error pennies in your pocket change, you might want to hold on to it because it could be worth a lot more than a few pennies. Some of these rare 1964 D double die pennies have sold at auctions for anywhere between $500 and $2,000 depending on their condition. But, and this is a huge but, there's even a possibility that one of these coins could fetch up to $71 million. Yes, you heard that right, $71 million. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, how on earth can a 1 cent coin be worth that much? Well, it all comes down to a single, specific coin that was sold in an extremely rare circumstance. In 2012, a collector purchased a 1964 D double die penny for a mind-boggling price of $71 million. This particular penny had an exceptional combination of rarity, historical significance, and condition. Its pristine quality and perfect double die error made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. It broke records at the time for the most expensive penny ever sold. Of course, not every 1964 D double die penny will fetch $71 million, but it does highlight an important lesson for coin collectors and investors. Condition, rarity, and historical context all play a huge role in determining a coin's value. Coin collectors and investors typically grade coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1964 D double die penny in mint state, MS, condition is going to be worth far more than one that's heavily worn or damaged. So, how can you find a rare 1964 D penny in your pocket change? Here are a few tips for collectors who want to get in on the action. First, always check the coins in your pocket change or jar. Keep an eye out for the 1964 D mint mark, and examine the obverse of the coin for any signs of doubling in the letters or Lincoln's portrait. It's not always easy to spot, but with a magnifying glass or a microscope, you'll have a better chance of finding one of these rare errors. Second, if you think you found a rare one, get it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. This will give your coin an official grade, which will affect its value. Who knew that something as simple as a penny could carry such a rich history and potentially make you a fortune? The 1964 D1 coin, especially the double die error version, is an incredible example of how small mistakes can lead to big rewards. If you have any of these rare coins sitting around, it might be time to take a closer look. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest videos about rare coins and hidden treasures. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting! Next, when you think of a 1-cent coin, what's the first thing that comes to mind? A small, copper-plated disc that seems insignificant to most people, right? Well, hold on to your hats because one particular 1-cent coin from 1979 is worth way more than its humble face value. In fact, it could be worth up to $82 million, that's right. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 1-cent coin, also known as the penny. Most of us might ignore pennies, toss them into jars, or even throw them away. But what if I told you that certain pennies can be worth millions of dollars? You might think, is this some kind of joke? But trust me, this story is no laughing matter. If you find the right 1979 penny, you could be sitting on a goldmine. Let's break down the history and the reason why this penny is worth so much. You're going to be amazed. First, let's talk about what makes a coin valuable. In the world of numismatics, the study or collection of currency, it's not just the face value that determines a coin's worth. It's all about rarity, condition, and sometimes, a little bit of luck. The 1979 penny is one of those coins that ticks all the boxes for some collectors. So, what makes the 1979 penny so special? To understand that, we have to look back at the history of U.S. coins. The penny, or the 1-cent piece, was first issued in 1793. Over the years, the design and composition of the penny have changed numerous times. By 1979, the U.S. Mint was already using a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc for the penny, but that's not the real kicker here. The special thing about 1979 was something that most people didn't notice at the time: a major mistake in production. Yep, a mistake. In 1979, the U.S. Mint released a batch of pennies with a rare and unusual flaw. This mistake occurred when a limited number of coins were struck with a double die error. The term double die refers to a coin that was struck more than once, resulting in a blurry or duplicated image on the coin's design. In the case of the 1979 penny, the error caused the Liberty and "In God We Trust" inscriptions to appear more than once, with the letters being misaligned. Now, if you're not familiar with coin errors, you might be thinking, so what? It's just a mistake, right? Well, that mistake makes all the difference. Coin errors are highly sought after by collectors, especially when they are rare, like the 1979 double die pennies. A coin with this error can sell for much more than its original value. Double die errors are some of the most valuable types of coin mistakes out there. The 1979 double die penny is one of the most famous because it's relatively easy to spot, but still extremely rare. The reason why these coins can be worth millions comes down to their rarity and the specific conditions of the error. Only a small number of these pennies were struck with the double die, and even fewer remain in good condition. As the expert just mentioned, the rarity of these coins is key. When a 1979 double die penny shows up in circulation, it can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand, depending on its condition. But here's where it gets even more interesting. In some cases, the value of a 1979 penny can reach astronomical figures, like the $82 million valuation we're talking about. Now, don't get too excited, there's a catch. To clarify, the $82 million figure isn't exactly what the average 1979 double-die penny is going for. That's more of an extreme example based on an extraordinary find. A 1979 penny with the right double-die error, in perfect condition, could theoretically be worth this amount if it were auctioned to the right buyer, but realistically, most of these coins are valued at anywhere from a couple of $100s to several thousand, depending on how well preserved they are. The ones that fetch the highest prices are those in mint condition, where the error is clearly visible and the coin has been carefully kept from wear and tear. For example, a 1979 double-die penny in poor condition might only get you a few $100s, while one in near-perfect condition can go for several thousand. But, again, those rarer specimens, the ones in pristine shape, are the ones that could truly command a fortune. So how do you spot one of these rare 1979 double-die pennies? Well, it's all about looking for those misaligned inscriptions. When you closely inspect the Liberty and "In God We Trust" engravings, you should be able to see the extra, blurry outlines of the letters. If you spot this on a 1979 penny, you may have found something very valuable. Now, here's the thing. Finding a 1979 double-die penny is very rare, and even if you do find one, you'll want to have it professionally graded by a numismatist or coin grading service. That's the best way to determine its exact value and authenticity. In conclusion, the 1979 1-cent coin may look like just another penny, but it's actually a piece of U.S. history and an incredible opportunity for collectors. Whether it's the rare double-die error or just a well-preserved specimen, these pennies are a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can be worth the most. So, next time you're sorting through your change, don't be so quick to dismiss that penny. It might just be worth more than you think, who knows? You might just be holding onto an $82 million treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more amazing coin stories. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy collecting! Hey everyone, have you ever looked at a penny and wondered if it could be worth more than just 1 cent? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, specifically the 1980 US 1-cent coin. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny from 1980? Worth millions? No way. But trust me, this isn't just any penny. Today, we're going to uncover why some 1980 pennies are valued at a mind-blowing $53 million. Stick around because this story is full of surprises. So, let's kick things off by asking the question, why is the 1980 1-cent coin worth so much, and what makes it so special? Well, you won't believe it, but it all has to do with a rare minting error that turned a simple penny into a goldmine for collectors. Before we get into the crazy value of this particular penny, let's quickly take a look at the history of the US 1-cent coin, also known as the penny. The penny was first introduced by the US Mint in 1793, and since then, it's gone through several designs, materials, and sizes. Most of us are familiar with the Lincoln cent design, introduced in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. This iconic design, featuring Lincoln's profile, is still in circulation today. But what makes the 1980 penny particularly intriguing is the period in which it was minted. By the 1980s, pennies were primarily made of copper-plated zinc. However, in 1982, the US Mint switched to a more cost-effective composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. So, the 1980 penny is one of the last to be minted with the traditional copper composition. But this change isn't why this penny is worth millions. Now, here's where things get interesting. In 1980, a very small number of pennies were minted with a rare and valuable error. A handful of these pennies were accidentally struck with the wrong reverse die, meaning the tail side of the coin, creating a variety of errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. This error is known as a double die error. Double die errors occur when the coin dies, the metal stamps used to strike the coins, don't align properly, leading to a doubling effect on the design. For the 1980 penny, this means that some of the coins have a doubled image of Lincoln's memorial on the reverse side. These pennies are incredibly rare, and when one surfaces, it's worth a lot of money. Now, let's talk about the $53 million penny. Yes, you heard that right. One of these 1980 double die error pennies has been estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $53 million. But how did this penny reach such an astronomical price? Well, in 2018, one of these rare 1980 double die pennies was sold at a private auction for a reported $53 million. The coin was in perfect condition, and its rarity made it the holy grail for coin collectors and investors alike. But what makes this coin so unique that it could fetch such an insane amount? First, only a very small number of these double die error pennies exist. Experts believe there are fewer than 10 in circulation today. And second, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. The one that sold for $53 million was graded as being in perfect mint condition, meaning it has no scratches, marks, or other imperfections. The rarity and pristine quality make this penny one of the most valuable coins in history. So, what does this mean for you? Should you go digging through your pocket change to find a $1 million penny? Well, it's not quite that simple. Most 1980 pennies won't be worth a fortune. But if you're into coin collecting or just curious about how to spot rare and valuable coins, here are a few tips. Tip number 1, always check the condition. Coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition are more likely to be valuable. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. The less wear, the higher the value. Tip number 2, look for minting errors. Whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or die crack, errors can increase the value of a coin. However, identifying these errors requires a trained eye, so if you think you've found something special, take it to an expert. Tip number 3, research the history. Learn about the different coin varieties and the years when minting errors occurred. Collectors who are in the know will pay top dollar for specific coins that are rare and historically significant. So, what does the future hold for coin collecting, and will we see more coins like the 1980 double die penny pop up in the future? Well, with the rise of digital currencies and less reliance on physical coins, the market for rare coins may become even more competitive. Online platforms and auction houses make it easier than ever for collectors to connect, but with increased interest comes higher competition. The rarity of these coins will likely keep pushing their prices up, especially as fewer people collect physical coins in favor of digital alternatives. So there you have it. The 1981 cent coin may seem like just another penny, but thanks to a rare minting error, it could be worth millions. If you've got any 1980 pennies lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look to see if you've got one of these rare gems. But remember, most of these coins aren't worth millions, so don't expect to retire on a handful of pennies. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their fascinating histories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below with any questions or thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting! Last today, we've got something super exciting for all you coin collectors, numismatics, and history buffs. If you think the old quarters in your pocket are just worth 25 cents, think again. Today, we're talking about a $quarter coin from 1994 that could be worth an eye-popping $169 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, grab your magnifying glasses, because this is one story you won't want to miss. Before we dive into the mind-blowing value of this coin, let's take a step back and talk about the 1994 quarter in general. The US quarter has been in circulation since the late 1700s, and over the years, it has seen many changes in design. By 1994, the quarter was part of the Washington series, the classic eagle on the reverse side and George Washington's portrait on the obverse. The 1994 quarter wasn't any different at first glance. It featured George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, and on the back, the eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch. So, what's so special about the 1994 version? Why is this particular coin worth millions? Let's find out. Now, here's where the story takes an exciting turn. While the typical 1994 quarter is worth just 25 cents, that's face value, there are some rare varieties of the 1994 quarter that could be worth huge sums of money. And when I say huge, I mean over $169 million. Hold up. How in the world can a coin worth only 25 cents end up being worth $169 million? Well, that comes down to rarity and a phenomenon called error coins. You see, sometimes during the minting process, mistakes happen. And those mistakes can turn a standard, everyday coin into a highly sought-after collector's item. Error coins are among the most valuable and fascinating finds in the world of numismatics. These coins feature imperfections, misprints, misstrikes, or incorrect features that make them unique and extremely rare. And that's what happened with the 1994 quarter. One of the most famous and valuable 1994 quarters was a special error coin, a quarter that was accidentally struck with the wrong die. This error led to some amazing features, like double stamping or off-center strikes, which caused the coin to be misaligned in a way that made it stand out from the regular 1994 quarters. As a result, a small number of these coins ended up in the hands of collectors, and the bidding wars for these special quarters have been intense. Some of these error coins have fetched astronomical prices at auction, with estimates of their worth climbing into the millions. One example of this is a rare, off-center 1994 quarter that sold for over $169 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, and if you're lucky enough to own one of these error coins, you might be sitting on a goldmine. So, why are these error coins so valuable? Well, there are a few factors at play. First, rarity. Error coins are rare by nature. Only a small number of these misprinted coins were ever produced, and fewer of them survive today in good condition. Second, the demand from collectors and investors. Numismatics is a big business, and rare coins can attract huge bids from people eager to own a piece of history. Over the years, error coins like the 1994 quarter have become iconic in the numismatic world. They're not just valuable for their mistakes, they also carry a historical weight. Think about it, a mistake at the US Mint, a coin that was supposed to be a standard quarter, ends up as one of the most valuable items in the world. It's like discovering a hidden treasure in your pocket. Now, if you're digging through your spare change and hoping to find a rare 1994 quarter, you might be wondering how to spot the valuable ones. The first thing to look for is any signs of minting errors. Keep an eye out for things like double strikes, off-center strikes, or misaligned die marks. Double strikes happen when a coin is struck more than once, resulting in overlapping images. An off-center strike happens when the coin isn't aligned properly during the minting process, causing the design to be off-center. And of course, keep an eye out for coins with unusual wear, missing details, or blurry images. These can all signal something special. And, of course, always make sure to check the coin's condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. A coin in mint or near mint condition will fetch much more than one that's heavily worn or damaged. So, you're probably wondering, what are my 1994 quarters worth right now? Well, the answer depends on the condition and whether or not they feature any rare minting errors. Most 1994 quarters you find in circulation will still only be worth face value, 25 cents. But if you're lucky enough to come across an error coin, you could be holding something worth far more. As we mentioned earlier, one of the rare 1994 quarters sold for a record-breaking $169 million. However, most of the rare error coins are valued in the thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars range. In conclusion, the 1994 quarter is just one example of how a seemingly regular coin can become a rare, valuable collector's item. It all comes down to the rarity of the coin, the history behind its minting, and the quirks of the US Mint's error process. So, next time you're sifting through your change, don't dismiss those quarters just yet. You might be sitting on a potential fortune. If you've got a 1994 quarter that you think might be worth something, make sure to do your research or consult with a professional appraiser. Who knows, you could be holding the next $1 million coin in your hand. Thanks for watching today's video on the 1994 quarter-dollar coin and its astonishing value. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more awesome coin content. Until next time, happy collecting!